Hello, and welcome to Live Vedanta, a podcast about simple living and high thinking. If you're enjoying the podcast, did you know that Chinmaya Mission Cleveland Niagara has a YouTube channel? On the YouTube channel, you can find guided contemplations with Sri Vivekji, as well as recordings from some of our workshops. In this episode, we're focusing on chapter 4 and verse 38 of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, in which Shri Krishna reveals the power of true knowledge, teaching that only the knowledge of the Spirit can purify us and dissolve ignorance about who we are and what life is. By prioritizing self-development, we can shift from doing for joy to being joy, allowing understanding to arise naturally. Let's tune into Vivekji to learn more.
In verse 36, and we're not covering this verse, Shri Krishna uses a very strong term, papakrit tamaha. Even if you are the worst of the worst, even if you are the worst of the worst, you can still become the best of the best. How? By jnana. Jnana is knowledge. We clued into this in verse 34. Now we're moving to verse 38. The final important verse from this chapter, even though there's so many important verses, but we are going to tune into 38. Nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitram iha vidyate tat swayam yoga samsiddhaha kalenatmani vindhati. Joy. Na, there's not, he, indeed, jnanena, like knowledge, sadrisham, that which is comparable. Knowledge is incomparable. Now, I know you're not deflecting to knowledge like knowledge of chemistry or knowledge of skiing, etc. I know you're reflecting that we're referring to SQ, knowledge of the spirit, spirituality. In our sections of Bhagavad Gita, we're flowing from Karma Yoga to Bhakti Yoga to Jnana Yoga. There's a mentality that you save the best for last. Pujaswami Chinmayananda made the slogan for Chinmaya Yuvakendra, Nahi Jnanena Sadrisham. If you ever look at the logo, that's what's written in Sanskrit. Why? Why is knowledge incomparable? Pavitram, purifying, iha, you, here now, vindate, this is what it can do. This is what its functions. Why is knowledge the most purifying? Our problem in life is not our heart condition. It's not a lack of resources. Those are auxiliary. Our problem is ignoring who we are, what we are, ignoring what life is. And what's the opposite of ignoring? Knowing. Only knowledge can be the opposite of ignorance. And sharing this in one more way, this is more subtle. The one who is ignoring what they are, they go on doing. I do this for joy, I do that for joy. Do you see the implication of doing is the feeling that one can create joy? I will keep on engaging in combinations and permutations to create joy. That's impossible. What knowledge does is we shift from doing to being. If you know you are joy, you don't have to do anything. You can just be who you are. My quote says that, yes? Be. Good product placement. The third quarter, that knowledge from this verse, the knowledge from verse 34, the knowledge from verse 24, Swayam yoga samsiddhaha. Swayam, this will come to one. If yoga samsiddhaha, you naturalize self-development. If this becomes your job, your profession, your vocation is to be a better person, you will naturally relate to this knowledge, feel this knowledge. In verse 34, a guide is needed to orient one to the map and divinity, but you have to follow. Pujaswami Chinmayananda shared, I'm not a mule guru. M-U-L-E. So many gurus, they touch and hug and give and so on. What did he do? None of that. I will teach you. If you want to follow, follow. If you don't want to follow, don't follow. That's how one becomes independent. Kalena atmani vindati. Shri Krishna shifts the word from swayam, which means within, to atmani. This will be felt in your own heart. The way that you feel you're alive right now, you will feel this knowledge, knowing who you are. And a practical implication from this is to not escape. Where do you have to go to be joy? It's you. It's in your heart. Escaping never worked, and it's not going to. Bhagavad Gita's chapter 2 tunes into karma yoga, or selflessness, in one magnification. I'd referenced verse 47. In chapter 3, this thought process of selflessness is magnified 10 times. In chapter 4, this is magnified 100 times. 100 times. The theme of chapter 4 is deservership, lessness. As one is trying to live in a selfless way, this has to be infused with deservership, lessness. We flowed through really lovely aspects of Sanatana Dharma. Parampara, Avatara, Varna, Yajna, and then we had concluded with Jnana. Our original problem is avidya. Avidya means to forget. Then the original resolution to this problem would be vidya, to remember. I'll share this in one more tactile way. Those who are ignorant take for granted their relationships, the environment, their health. How do we be less ignorant? By practicing being grateful. Taking for granted and being grateful are opposites to each other, like avidya and vidya are opposite to each other. Be more grateful. One should never have to be reminded to be grateful. When you're not reminded, then you know you are training in vidya or remembering the source of joy. This chapter ends with one more beautiful thought, and that is on Shraddha. Those who have faith, they move forward. My ski example yesterday. We did go skiing yesterday, and it was a much smoother day. Much smoother day. Those with Shraddha, they move forward. Now, as we get into this exit test of chapter 4 to get into chapter 5, deservership is inside of our mind and outside of our mind. Deservership inside of our mind can be felt as over thoughts. I'm not saying thinking. When you think, the mind is quiet. I am saying over thoughts. So if you ever experience over thoughts, that is a sign of deservership. Chapter 4 is not being lived well or lived yet. In terms of deservership outside of the mind, this is felt as the need to be appreciated. If you feel you need to be appreciated by your supervisor, by your spouse, by whomever, then know that to be a sign of deservership. On Tuesday, I'm organizing a Gurukula meeting. Everyone who is serving on the Cleveland Niagara teams, our insight team, our quality direction team, etc., I'm going to share with them, you being on this team, you serving should be a natural expression. You serving on this team should not be a game of appreciation. This should be your natural thinking, that I should be serving on such a team. That is training in deservership, listness. Theorizing about it is easy, but actually being trained in this, that is more rich.
If you've enjoyed this episode, share it with a friend. You can follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and of course on the Simplecast browser. This whole season of Essential Love is accompanied by an ebook by the same name. You can check out our show notes about how you can download the Essential Love ebook, which includes tools for deeper reflection on each of the verses. They go hand in hand. You can find all of this and more at chinmayaniagara.com. Until next time, inspire, love, be.